Hello everyone, so I will be discussing 20 books that I want to read throughout the year. These are all books based off my reading goals. So these are books about diversity, some classics, and books that are not YA. So let's get started. The first book is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. It's about 16-year-old Star who lives in a poor neighborhood and goes to school at a fancy suburban prep school. So the balance between these worlds is shattered when she witnesses the fatal shooting of her childhood best friend at the hands of the cops, who was unarmed. Some are calling him a thug, while others are protesting in his name. Some of the cops and local drug dealers try to intimidate her. What Star chooses to do could endanger her life. I'm really excited to read this. I've heard great things about it, and I think it relates to today's issues. And so I think many people can learn something from reading this book. The second book is Sybil by Florida Schreiber, and this is the classic true story of a woman possessed by 16 personalities. So I won't be giving descriptions for all of these books since there are quite a few. The third book is Aristotle and Dante, Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alaire Science. This book is about Aristotle and Dante who meet at a swimming pool, and at first they seem like they will have nothing in common, but they form a special friendship. The fourth book is Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Coulthurst. I really don't know much about this book other than it's about princesses who fall in love, so that sounds awesome. The fifth book is If I Was Your Girl by Meredith Russo. This is about Amanda, who is the new girl at school, and she's determined not to get close to anyone because she's keeping a secret. And that secret is that she used to be called Andrew. I've never read a book about a trans character before, and so I'm looking forward to reading it. Number 6 is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. This is about Natasha, who falls in love right before being deported to Jamaica. The next book is Middlesex by Jeffrey Eugenides. This is about an intersex man of Greek descent. The eighth one is Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov. This is a story about a middle-aged man who has a tragic love affair with his 12-year-old stepdaughter. The plot sounds disturbing and gross, but it is a classic, so I want to give it a try. Number 9 is Am Malala, the girl who stood up for education and was shot by the Taliban by Malala Yousafzai. I am so sorry for the mispronunciation. This is a biography about 15-year-old Malala who was shot in the head at point-blank range while riding the bus from school. Number 10 is We Should All Be Feminists. I'm not going to even try to pronounce this author's name because I know I will butcher it, but it's on the screen. Number 11 is George by Alex Gino. This is about George, who everyone sees her as a boy, but she really knows that she is a girl. At school, they're having a play, Charlotte's Web, and she really wants to play Charlotte, but her teacher sees her as a boy. She comes up with a plan for everyone to see who she really is. Number 12 is Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. This is another classic. This is about how the world controllers had built the ideal society through clever use of engineering and brainwashing. Here I really want to read 2 true crime novels. The first one is Savage Grace by Natalie Robin. This one is about the death of Barbara by the hands of her son. The next one I want to read is Helter Skelter by Vincent Bugliosi, which is about the Manson murders. Number 14 is I want to read The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. I really liked his other book, Monster Calls. Number 15 is You're Welcome Universe by Whitney Gardner. Julia, who finds a slur written about her best friend scrawled across the back of the Kingston School for the Deaf. She covers it up with a graffiti mural, but this action gets her expelled. She is sent to mainstream school where she's treated like an outcast for being the only deaf student. Number 16 is A First-Rate Madness by Nasir Gahami. This is uncovering the links between leadership and mental illness. Number 17 is A Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. So this tells a story about a fashionable man who sells his soul for eternal youth. Number 18 is The Book of Unknown Americans by Cristina Henriquez. This mainly follows 2 families, the Riveras, who live in Mexico, until their daughter Maribel gets into a tragic accident. They feel that she will get better treatment in the United States, and so they move to Delaware. The other half of the story is told by Mayor, who lives in the same apartment complex and falls in love with Maribel. I'm excited to read this because my father is an immigrant who came from Mexico. Number 19 is Much Ado About Nothing by William Shakespeare. The last one I want to read is The Color Purple by Alice Walker. This is set in the American South between the wars. This tells a story about Sally, who is a young black girl who is raised in poverty and segregation. She suffers a great deal of tragedies until she meets a woman who teaches her to let go of her past and is reunited with loved ones. Those are some of the books that I want to read based off my reading goals. If you have any books to recommend, please do so in the comments, and like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye!